Okay, this is RML695, and I know that I usually haven't introduced myself in a lot of my videos as of late, but let me just hide this window here for a second. There we go. I came across, there's a video up on YouTube that talks about the advancements of accessibility for the blind in regards to the Android platform. And in the video, they demonstrate how you can utilize an Android device with the Braille back interface, which in a nutshell allows a wireless Braille display, which can be thought of as a single line print display that you would have on old fax machines, except it's in Braille, kind of the way it's laid out. Anyway, so using the technology, a person can gain access to a to an Android device. Looking through the comments, because I'm always interested in seeing what people have to say about this, especially considering it was a mainstream outfit that was covering this and not any of our specialty groups. It was not ACB Access World. It was actually Phone Arena, who do reviews of mainstream smartphones. And so I was looking through the comments and I found this. Now, yes, I know the comment is 10 months old, and this person probably has never been around somebody who's blind, but that does not make an excuse for a comment like this. So I'm going to go ahead and read it to you for those of you who cannot see. And for those of you who can, you just follow along with the bouncing arrow. Blind people should get a phone with a physical keyboard whose commands and keys, sorry if I made anybody sick, can be easily memorized. Not torture themselves with touch screen phones and Braille devices. Even with a Braille keyboard and a smartphone, what do you think blind people can do with them? Use apps, browse the internet, look at videos, see map directions? They are blind. They can't do any of that. They should make complete voice support if they want to cater to blind people, not hard to use accessories. Now, I have a guest here with me, 1956DLC, who's going to chime in with their points in just a second, but I just want to say this real quick. When it comes to somebody who has a disability, any disability, the number one thing that you want to do is fit in with your peers and be able to use whatever type of technology they use. Because use of specialty technology can sometimes make you stand out, and depending on who you're around, it might not be in a good way. But also, it's nice to be able to walk into a store, as like an Apple store, for example, pick up an iPhone and know that you have complete access to it, and you don't have to worry about whether or not your specialties device can load a particular piece of software. You can actually talk about a lot of the mainstream apps that your sighted peers are using. But now that that's out of the way, 1956DLC, I take it you have quite a bit to say. Let me just turn up the volume here so you can... Oh, you're already at max. Anywho, go ahead with your points.
First of all, thank you for having me.
Yep.
The person that did the reviewing is woefully uninformed.
Well, not I should clarify. Not the review. The review itself is actually quite good. The person who made the comment is this guy called Big Steam Fan.
Okay, well, Big Steam Fan is woefully uninformed. Blind people can do just about anything the sighted world can. We've made it look a little different and get it done a little longer, but handicapped does not mean handicapped, it means handicapable. And I'm frankly a little outraged at the comment. As far as Android phones, smartphones, or anything else go, if you get an Apple product, it talks to you right out of the box. You get it out of the box, you set up VoiceOver, and there you go. Okay? Android devices, because I have one of those, okay, are also blind friendly. They're actually more friendly than a standard phone with the big push buttons and whatever else that he was referring to. You can get apps for it to make it more user friendly. One of the ones that I personally use is BT Mono. There's also text to speech, speech to text. There's a lot of different things. So, Big Steam, whatever, okay, really should know his facts before he chimes in.
I agree, and I think that what it comes down to is awareness and education. Because a lot of people out there, for example, we cannot say that this person is knowingly trying to be insensitive. It may just be that they've never been around somebody who's blind, and they don't know what people who are blind are capable of. These days, we are able to go out and access the exact same materials. They may be in a slightly different format, but I'll guarantee you that when the latest Harry Potter book came out sometime back, the oh shoot, which one was it? Well, whatever the last one was, I can't think right now. It's late. But the final Harry Potter book, when that came out, they made a real push to make sure that people who were blind and had and were part of and were members of the of these talking book services had access to that book the exact same moment the print copy went on sale. And even these days, if you don't want to use the specialty devices, you don't have to. I have a Amazon Kindle with a keyboard on it that has speech output, and that allows me to go ahead and download Kindle books, and even Amazon's own Kindle software is deemed accessible on iOS now. So you don't need any of the specialty devices. Not near. You do still need it some, but not near as much as you used to. What I'm basically saying here is that people who are blind are perfectly capable of picking up an iPhone and using it, and you can discuss the exact same apps that people who are sighted use. It's really, we're basically in the middle of a revolution here. But like I said, this guy, like you said, he is misinformed, but we do have to give him the benefit of the doubt in the sense that he's probably never been around somebody who's blind. He doesn't know what we're capable of, and there are a lot of people who don't.
This is true.
So
when I was going to a certain place, I was on the education and outreach team, and education means going out to the schools and educating. Outreach means going into the community. And yes, a lot of people still believe, even though that's been eons ago, that the only thing a blind person is good for, with or without a guide dog, is to stand on a street corner with a tin cup and beg.
Yeah,
and that blind centers and places like this, okay, are dark and dreary and set back 150 years the way they used to be, long before either one of us was born. Probably long before he was born as well.
Probably. But no, a lot of, in fact, one of the things now, there's a conference every year that can be thought of as CES for people with disabilities. It's called CSUN. And I'm not going to bore you with what the acronym stands for, but in a nutshell, it's basically a technology for persons with disabilities conference. And one of the things that they really took away from this year's conference is heightened accessibility of the STEM fields. And what that stands for is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. There is a brand new, fully accessible talking graphing calculator on the market, and this is going to these advancements are going to open up the field of science and very technically minded fields for people who are blind. And there are a lot of very, very bright people out there who now with the tools, they have the tools they need. I wouldn't be at all surprised if we see a lot of people going into these highly technical fields,
Well, look at yourself. You graduated with a master's degree, and you could pretty much write your own ticket. You have a undergrad degree in education / special ed, and now this new technology as well. So, congrats to you. That's awesome. And you wouldn't have been able to do that a few years back. Okay, because the technology was not there yet.
And there's something else too. The high school that I went to, and also a very close friend of mine that we went to, we were the only two people at the entire school and probably in the school's history with a significant vision loss. And we managed to graduate with a solid A and B average, and that set a benchmark for people coming through that particular high school. So, like I said, we're in the middle of a revolution here. And I think that people like Big Steam Fan, I hope that this video managed to educate you, and hopefully you'll be a little bit more informed in the future. Do you have anything else you wish to add, 1956 DLC?
His comment about the Braille, I am not trained enough in Braille to be able to state any kind of educatively. Okay, I took just the beginning, and that was it. And it's the same thing with any language. If you don't use it, you lose it. And that's where I am now. I mean, I've got the basics, but as far as putting them attached to a phone or smart device or anything like that, I don't know. And I don't even claim to know.
And I'm going to go back. It's a good thing you brought that up because, excuse me, in regards to the Braille in general, because this guy says, even with a Braille keyboard, what do you think people can do with them, use apps, browse the internet, etc.? Well, let me tell you something. With a Braille keyboard, we can do all of that and more. A Braille keyboard to us is like being able to visually alter the spelling of a word on your computer screen. T-H-E-R-E and T-H-E-I-R, right? The exact same pronunciation there. The problem is, if you just listen to it with speech, the screen reader's not going to pick up on these kind of mishaps unless you drill down another level, navigate by character. It's just much more efficient to navigate using a Braille display. And also, when you want to turn your speech off, let's say, for instance, you're at an airport, and I'm sure this is not an uncommon situation. You're in an airport and you need to listen for your flight being called. You need to turn your screen reader high up enough to where you can hear it, but you probably wouldn't be able to hear any announcements. So being able to switch on your Braille display and continue your work, without having to worry about, mishaps like that, there's just a lot of benefit to ownership of a Braille display. Yes, they're expensive. They run anywhere from $1,200 to as high as maybe $8,000 or $9,000, but I guarantee you they're definitely a worth it investment. So, any further thoughts?
No, I think I pretty much covered it.
Okay. Well, thank you, 1956 DLC, for helping me out with this video.
And thank you for inviting me.
And
RML695.
You're very welcome. And let me just make one very last thing very clear, okay? Like I was saying earlier, we're giving this guy the benefit of the doubt, but we do want to get the message out there that advancements have been made so that hopefully people won't make misguided comments like this in the future. So, thank you for watching. Comments are welcome, and have a nice day.